everyone! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Moira and today I am going to be talking about the pros and cons of studying architecture. So this video was suggested by some of you guys, so thank you very much for leaving your comments down below. So ito na, ginagawa ko na. But before we start, of course, I would like to put a disclaimer out there that everything that I will be saying in this video is just my personal view on it. The 5 pros and cons that I listed are based on my personal experience as an architecture student. So some may agree, some may not, whatever. And if you're new to this channel, hi, hello, my name is Moira. I just graduated last June in UP with a degree in BS Architecture. Anyways, enough with this intro and let's get right into the video. Woo! Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna say 1 pro and then 1 con para balance tayo dito. Okay? So, first pro is that architecture is a good course. Alam niyo yung kapag may mga family gatherings, tapos tatanungin ka ng tita mo, oh my God, anong course mo? Tapos sasabihin ko, architecture po. Tapos laging sagot nila, wow, ang galing mo naman! Tapos parang ako, pero deep inside, kung alam niyo lang kung gano'n na ako nahihirapan sa course ko. Basically, architecture is spoken highly of, as in, ganun lagi kapag nalaman nilang arty ka, parang, wow! I think the biggest thing kasi about architecture is that it's a mixture of art and science and you have to be good at both those fields which are parang magkalaban pero kailangan mo sila i-put together. Ganon. And you also have to know about math, physics, communication skills, ganon, business, lahat na, nasa arcane. First con, it's expensive. I would be lying if I said that anyone can afford to study architecture because the truth is, it's so freaking expensive. Sure, sa UP, nagkaroon kaming free tuition, pero there's so many materials that you need to buy for yourself, for drafting, ganon, like mga markers, pens, rulers, drafting table. Hindi naman pwedeng humiram ka lang sa katabi mo kasi paano kayo matatapos kung maghihiraman kayo. Ganon. Mahal din is printing, of course. There's A4 size, may A3, tapos minsan isang malaking board that like the size of a cartolina. Of course, you need to have your own laptop kasi architecture uses a lot of software programs that may not be available at every single computer shop. So, ayun, that's one downside of it. Second pro, you can be good in a lot of things. You can learn a lot of skills when you take up architecture. I think the biggest skill is, of course, creativity because you need to be able to create designs that would function well, that looks nice, aesthetically pleasing, whatever. But you also get to learn about the basics of engineering. Like, you really need to know mechanical, electrical, sanitary, structural, on and on and on. Another skill that you get to learn is public speaking or speaking on the spot because we do a lot of presentations and you need to be able to sell your idea. Because even if you have such a great design but you don't know how to speak up for yourself, the audience won't buy it. They won't even listen to you. Galing din sa Photoshop, sa video editing. Another big thing is planning. Planning takes up so much time in Archi that you can even use that skill in your everyday life, like planning ahead, your schedule, ganito, logistics, whatever. Second con, you will have a heavy workload. In some Archi majors, minsan meron ka ng final plate, tas meron pang final exam. Twice the workload na agad. So imagine you're mentally preparing and studying for an exam, but at the same time, you should have also been working on your final plate, na minsan by group pa, so you have to coordinate your schedules, ganon. There are also plates that require manual labor, model making, or drafting. Drafting can take up so much time. Minsan kahit kompleto na yung floor plan sa isip mo, but the time it takes to draft it neatly and precisely on a freaking 20 by 30 paper can take up to a day, sometimes more than. It can get really time consuming. And I even saw an article before that says, wait, it's the major that works the most hours. It averages to 22.2 hours. So, diba? Ang daming oras nun. Third pro, it's a broad course. Hindi ko lang kung tama yung English ko doon. Pero basically, architecture can open doors to a lot more opportunities. Just because you took up architecture in college doesn't necessarily mean na architect lang yung pwede mong trabaho buong buhay mo. You could also go for other jobs because you took up architecture. But most of these courses, of course, will be related to the arts. For example, some people have gone on to become graphic designers, full-time artists, fashion designer, Francis Libiran, is an architecture graduate actually from UST. He'll also be an event planner, urban planner, video game designer, which is so cool. Diba? Naglilista na ako ng mga trabaho na pwede sa inyo. Third con, architecture can be very subjective. So all throughout my college life, I've encountered different professors because of different subjects, and they all have different opinions. One prof may love my idea, but another prof would not think that it's good at all. So, medyo you're always left with, ano ba? Tama ba? Maganda ba? Okay na ba? But the thing is, there is no right or wrong answer to it because architecture is an art, and art is subjective. Ewan ko, minsan kasi feel ko parang as long as you pass the minimum requirements, complete and on time, you definitely won't fail the subject. But you're still left thinking, so was my design good enough? Or pumasa lang ba ako dahil nagpasa ako on time? So it kind of messes with your head sometimes. Fourth pro, you can have your own practice and have side hustles that will help you make more money. We can have a lot of jobs at once, and sometimes that's even better so that your income does not solely rely on one thing that could be taken away from you. For example, I know some architects who have their own firm, ganon, but they're also a real estate agent, ganon, or a contractor. You could be a contractor if you're an architect. You could also be a professor, of course, or like a specialist like in acoustics or lighting, ganyan. So you can have a lot of side hustles. Fourth con, don't expect a high salary, especially if you're just beginning. Personally, I have not entered the workforce yet. Soon, maybe, hopefully. So I already have an idea of what salary I'll be getting when I start to work as an intern or apprentice kasi kailangan yon before board exams. And the pay is really just minimum wage. Some people might even go and say that there is no money in architecture. That's why you need to have a lot of side hustles. Then let's go with the last con so that we could end with a pro on a positive note. Last con is buy sleep. Yun nga, the course is very time consuming, and on average for me, I only slept like 4 to 6 hours a day. If I get 7 to 8 hours of sleep, that would be amazing. As in, sobrang miracle, himala. So yeah, that's another downside to it. You won't get as much sleep as you want. And I've even know some people who said that they actually considered shifting to a different course just so that they could get more sleep. And finally, the last pro is that you can make a difference. I've heard someone once said that architecture is the only art form that you cannot escape because it is literally always around us. Right at this very moment, if you look around, ayan, there's architecture all around you. So it can be a very powerful thing, and sometimes we don't even realize it. Architecture can control how we move in a space, how we behave and feel, basically how we live our day-to-day life. So if you choose to become an architect, you need to realize how great of an impact your designs could have to other people. Their lives could be better because of you. Wow! I mean, as an architecture student, you know, the feeling of stress never fully went away. But I would still have those moments where I would feel kilig or excited when I know that my design idea could potentially benefit people if it became real, if it was actually built. It could affect the community in a positive way. It could be a catalyst for the surrounding area, ganito, ganyan. Because of those moments, I feel like kahit papano may kapupuntahan din yung lahat ng stress ko. And, you know, it would all have been worth it. But guys, that is it for this video. Again, disclaimer, lahat ng sinabi ko, it was just my personal point of view. And if you're watching this and you're in high school, you're probably thinking of pursuing architecture in college. And I actually get some questions or comments saying that they want to take up architecture but they don't know if kakayanin ba nila yung drawing, yung math, ganito, ganyan. Basta maraming takot surrounding the course. But you shouldn't be asking yourself if kakayanin ko ba. But I think the right question that you should be asking is, worth it ba? Kapag ba pumikit kayo, tapos nakita nyo yung sarili nyo in the future as an architect or designer, does that thought make you feel inspired? Kinikilig ba kayo? Excited ba kayo? Masaya ba kayo? Could you imagine yourself in that position? And do you think that the best way for you to help this world is through creating well-designed spaces? Because if the answer is yes, then I'd say go for it. Kasi kahit anong course naman piliin nyo, hindi mawawala yung takot. So don't let the fear of failure get into your head and stop you from achieving all those great things. Because sabi nga nila, at the end of the day, doubt has killed more dreams than failure ever will. So thank you so much for coming to my TED Talk. Anyways, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to hit subscribe, and also don't forget to click on the notification bell so that you're updated whenever I post a new video. Comment down below what other video suggestions you have for me next. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!